started managing him, I think it was April 2020. I posted a snippet of a song and then it just started going viral on Twitter.
Okay.
When it started going viral on Twitter, it was about November. And then obviously we got signed to Universal in Feb.
Wow.
And obviously
that's serious.
This was whilst I was at uni as well.
Being the person who can amplify someone's brand or get them in front of the right faces is huge now.
It's crazy.
It's huge. You can make a serious bread just off being the middleman who gets people there. You know what I mean? Their like awareness, their bag. Do you know what I mean? To be fair, how do you feel about the UK scene right now, bro?
At the end of the day, I feel like it's down to the artist as well. Like a label can only just do so much. They can throw their ideas and stuff, but if the artist isn't willing to obviously match that sort of level, then there's not much they can do.
What's going on, people, man? You're tuning into episode 15 of the It's Not Easy podcast, man. We've got a new face in the building, man. We've got Dan in the building. How you doing, bro?
Bro, I'm good, man.
You smooth, yeah?
Yeah, bro, good. You know, I'm happy to be on the podcast. It's been a long time coming.
Yeah.
And like I said as well, for those that don't know, I actually said that obviously this year I wanted to get on the podcast and it just comes hand in hand.
Comes hand in hand. That's how God works, bro.
Yeah, man, crazy.
But how's your week been, though, man? Who's smooth and everything?
Yeah, this week's been good. Had a lot of like meetings, label stuff.
Yeah.
Other than that, like I've been alright, you know.
Yeah,
just going with the motions and stuff.
Yeah. So for people like who don't know, like, what's your actually? No, it is before we get into that. Yeah. That is Before we get into all that, let's do some quick fire questions.
Yeah, no stress. Let's go.
Before we get into the deep stuff.
Yeah, let's go.
Before we get into the real stuff, quick fire questions. Yeah. Alright, cool. This is just one to like see your mindset on things. Time or money?
Time. Time.
Why though?
Because when you die, there's no money.
Yeah. I hear you. Alright, cool. A vacation or a trip with the lads?
Trip with the lads.
You more with the lads thing,
yeah.
Like, what's food and natural places that you've been to though? Like,
country-wise?
Yeah.
Country-wise, Nigeria.
Oh yeah. You know, I'm meaning to go. You know, I ain't been yet, bro.
It's beautiful.
It's smooth, innit?
It's beautiful, yeah.
What city did you go to?
I went to Lagos.
Okay, nice, yeah.
It was
that's smooth.
Think about what it's
No, that's it. That's sick still. Alright, cool. I'm thinking, man. But yeah, I was gonna get into people like who don't know, like, you know, what you get up to and the work that you do. Like, how would you like describe what you do and how you kind of got into it as well?
So right now, obviously work for a record label called Mixtape Madness.
Okay.
And I work as an A&R, which is obviously artist and repertoire.
Yeah.
But for simpler forms, it's like a talent scout.
Yeah.
So like, you know, people, like, let's say for example, you're an artist and your song's blowing up on social media. My job is to try to convince you to sign to a label, basically. Yeah. Yeah. So
that's quite interesting that you say that. So artist and repertoire, because I'll be real, growing up, I thought A&R meant artists and rappers. I mean, so real. I thought A&R meant artists and rappers, but yeah.
I'll keep it so honest. Even me myself, I only learned the actual abbreviation probably like a year before I started.
That's so interesting.
I never actually knew what it meant.
Yeah. And also interesting that you say so. With Mixtape Madness, I didn't know that it's actually like a label as well. Is that true? Okay.
It's a record label, so obviously you've got the side to it where they post their videos and stuff, but obviously there's a record label behind it that not many people know about. Yeah, it's a record label.
Well, that's man interesting too. So, like, how did you get into it then? Like, how did you get the opportunity and get your foot through the door?
So probably start back from like 2019.
Okay.
Obviously, before I started the music stuff, I was doing events, and I still obviously do events. And so, freshers events in uni, obviously. You know, getting your name heard about. Kind of just started on Twitter, just building my platform. And, like a lot of people that I see nowadays, like that are my age, all of us were on Twitter at the same time. So everyone that's on Twitter now, like from our generation, was on Twitter. They were on Twitter. Yeah. So just posting memes, posting videos and stuff. And during lockdown, I remember like. Everyone's creative juice was just in the bin. You had to kind of think about what you need to do to try to stand out. Yeah. And then I started managing an artist. Okay. And then I started managing him, I think it was April 2020. And then worked with him for about 6 months. and then he posted a snippet of a song, and then it just started going viral on Twitter.
Okay.
And then I think when it started going viral on Twitter, it was about November, and then obviously we got signed to Universal in Feb.
Wow.
And obviously
that's serious.
This was whilst I was at uni as well. But the funny thing about the university I'd went to, I was obviously in a friendship group where 2 other people had already got their artists signed to record labels as well, whilst we were at uni as well. Yeah. So it's like it was just crazy to me.
Building, it was, that's really interesting. Yeah. So like, you know, when you mentioned, so I'd say for context, in uni it's lockdown. How old are you at this point?
I'm 19.
19, cool. Yeah. And then you start doing A&R for this artist. How did that come about? Like, did you just shout at him and say, "Yo, bro"? Like, how did that kind of come about?
I shouted him because he was friends with another artist, right? Yeah. And that artist was blowing right now.
Okay.
Like, they're going big, and I just thought, you know what, like, if they're big, if their friend is big, surely they're big as well. If they're hanging around them, so I was like, you know what, let me just gamble. Let me see what I do. So I hit them up more on the management side. So I was just managing their social media posts, giving them ideas and stuff. Yeah. And then like. It was just one day. I remember I was in my uni lecture and I wasn't even concentrating. I just posted a snippet and then I got home and it just started blowing off. Yeah.
Was that on Twitter?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. It started blowing off. Yeah. So that's quite interesting. Yeah. So the timeline of it, So you said that by the in November.
Yeah. So I started managing him in April 2020. So by November, that's when it started taking off.
And they got signed.
He got signed in Feb 2020.
Yeah.
2021. Yeah.
I've always wanted to ask though, like, you know, the process of like getting signed as an artist, like how does it happen on like a step-by-step like point of view? Like how does that, like if there's an artist out there and they're trying to get signed, like how does it like happen on like by email, phone call, like is it meeting in person, is it big tables, like how does that really like
at that point in time we couldn't actually meet anyone because it was lockdown, so it's like they reached out to you on like I don't know, like Twitter, Instagram, Gmail, whatever it is, and then they're asked to request a meeting, for example on Zoom or Google Meet, and then you'll talk to the relevant A&R that wants to sign them, and then that's like the first step, and then the second step would be to send them the song, they'll listen to it, and then the third step is that if they're really interested, they'll probably throw you like a draft contract, and then you review it with your lawyer and stuff like that, and if it makes sense, then you just go ahead and
flow it. And I find it interesting as well. So like, you know, with the so back to the timeline. Let's say the timeline, So the timeline, so cool. After that, he gets signed. Yeah. How are you feeling at that moment? The artist business. How are you feeling, bro? Like,
I'm baffed. I'm just like, I'm like, what the hell? I'm very confused because I've never been this person. So I'm just thinking of it as, you know what, it's a new experience. I never even thought I'd be here. You know, I just threw the snippet online just to see what it'll do. Yeah. And at this moment in time, I'm feeling good. I'm like, wow, like everyone's seen what we're doing. Yeah.
Do you think it was from that snippet that like got him signed? You think that was the decisive moment?
Yeah. It was that snippet, because when I posted it, it banged off, and I didn't only post it once. I posted like more snippets. Yeah. Obviously to keep the momentum.
Different platforms and yeah.
So just.
Go from there. That's it. So then from him getting signed, how did it continue to grow? How did you keep momentum going?
So obviously he signed for 2 singles and an option to extend. So obviously they signed that song. Yeah. And then he did another one, and then he obviously had this third option. Yeah. Which he wanted to continue. So like he did that song as well. Yeah. So that deal ended in October 2021. So he was with them for about 7-8 months. Yeah.
That's quite interesting that you say that. And I'm a huge like hip hop fan. So like I listen to a lot of like hip hop podcasts and stuff. Yeah. And they talk about like deals and the structure of deals. Yeah. You know when you said he signed like a 2 single deal. Yeah. So does that mean that you get signed for a single that you already have out?
No. So
how does that kind of work?
So that song wasn't. I think that song was already out. I think we dropped it independently actually. Yeah. And then they signed that song.
What does that mean?
So it's like it was already out, but because of the numbers and stuff it was doing, they signed it over to their. So that song went over to their catalogue, and then they started helping out with the promotion and stuff like that.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
I forgot we dropped into it.
yeah. That's kind of interesting. So they signed it, and then the contract was like 2 additional
basically
singles.
And then obviously the option to do the third one as well.
That's quite interesting. So like, you know when you go to do like that, so like I'm assuming the label is hoping that after this first hit,
Yeah.
you can produce another hit.
Yeah.
And that will do well. And another hit.
Yeah.
And then they get their profit from that, and then you get your.
And then
everyone eats.
Like there'll be a conversation if you want to like go and do another deal with them.
Yeah.
Or like
Yeah. You just kind of build from there. That's quite interesting.
Build from there,
yeah. So how did the opportunity with Mixtape Madness come about?
So we're still in 2021.
Yeah.
So obviously.
Still in uni.
Yeah. But this time it's 2021 October, so I'm around I think I'm in my last year, right?
Okay, cool.
But because I never expected all of this music stuff to blow off. Like you kind of don't know your reason why you're doing it. So I was like to myself, like I need to focus on uni, you know, because there's a lot of different things swaying my direction. I feel like this isn't actually what I want to do.
Yeah.
So I said to myself, you know what, like if this is for me, then I'll probably find a reason why.
Yeah.
It's meant for me. And I remember uni finished about May 2022.
Yeah.
I wasn't really interested in anything music wise, or just parties, events and stuff like that. I think
what do you do in uni, by the way?
Sports management.
Sports management. Okay, yeah, I hear you.
Sports management, which has no actual relevance to what I'm doing now.
I guess in a way,
and it kind of helps.
I guess in a way, but yeah, it's loose.
But yeah, I think it got to about, I think it was April 2022, right?
Yeah.
From what I did with that artist, I just thought to myself, maybe I'm good at marketing. And then
sitting down.
Me and my friend, we've always been good at like obviously building brands and stuff like that. So we thought, let's just build a brand, like a joint marketing agency.
Yeah.
And we had an Instagram page that we didn't really use as much before, so we just kind of converted it to the marketing agency, which we call Dreamscape PR.
Okay.
And the friend that I was doing it with is the other friend that obviously got their artist signed to a record label as well.
Yeah.
And that friend is a sick friend. He obviously managed to get India onto Love Island as well.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, before he was actually the manager.
Yeah. That's quite interesting. Wow.
It's crazy. Yeah.
You know what it is? Yeah, I think we're in a place as a society, and I guess you could say industry as well, where it's like being the person who can amplify someone's brand or get them in front of the right faces is huge now.
It's crazy.
It's huge that you can make a serious bread just off being the middleman who gets people there. Their like awareness, their bag. Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
So and then from there, I'm assuming the opportunity with Mixtape Madness. How did that? Yeah.
That's not even. We're not even there yet.
Yeah.
That's the craziest thing. So. So with that marketing agency, obviously we haven't got clientele yet. So obviously I'm thinking, you know what, let me just try offer a few free services to a few artists and stuff. Yeah. Even if they don't rate it or anything, let's at least try to shout people.
Do something,
just show them what I've got in the locker basically. So at this time, off the back of the artist that I had signed to Universal, I came out of a lot of industry contacts. So I'm here posting on Instagram, you know what, I'm a free agent. I'm just trying to put myself up. Yeah, it's building. So,
because that's a big thing on your CV.
Yeah.
Like a Universal, one of the biggest labels in the world. That's a massive thing in your CV right off the gate. Yeah, so do you know what I mean? You build from that, yeah.
So like these times, like you're back to square one because the step at the top is crazy, you know. So I'm here trying to like show people that I'm doing this and that, and then there's this one artist that he's actually showing a bit of interest, right? His name was Gino J.
Okay.
And he was kind of building momentum and stuff, and obviously I thought that maybe we can work with him because we come from the same background and stuff. And like I remember we worked on one song and the song was doing well, and then literally the second song, which was a month after, like I officially launched the agency, I launched the agency in July 2022.
Okay.
But the second song we worked on with him came out in August 2022. And
okay, that's soon after.
Yeah, and that song, he went off.
Okay, wow.
And he ended up getting signed to Sony Music Africa.
Right.
Yeah, so that one, I was just there like, what's going on?
That's quite interesting. So is that like if there's a branch in Africa, have they got a plan of like pushing them there? Is it an Afrobeat type of vibe,
because
right?
it was Afrobeat sort of vibe.
Okay, and cool.
For the sort of music he makes, it's like they abbreviate it as called francophone, basically.
Oh
like
yeah.
So it's like
that sort of vibe. Yeah.
He was kind of smart with it because I feel like the UK don't really know how to push that sort of sound.
Yeah.
And whereas he had that sort of French audience after like promoting the song.
Yeah.
They just said, you know what, let's sign him straight to Sony Music Africa. Yeah.
So like, you know, with these deals,
Yeah.
and we're not even into the big things yet, yeah. But you know these deals, like how do you as an A&R, like how do you negotiate your like fee? Like how do you approach that, and how has that grown over time as you've grown in the industry?
So to be honest, there's a lot of different hacks that you can actually do, but obviously like as an A&R working for like a majors or like an independent record label, like you can't actually, you know, say I want X amount of money for signing this song. You know, like they kind of base your results off like the streams you do on the song. So like if you want, like you can probably get, I don't know, your friend to manage the artist, and then they can be under your management, and then you can just take your percentage from that friend. 10% each or something. Because management standard is 20%.
And is that 20% of the deal, or is that of streams? How does that?
It depends. That if you want a percentage of the streams, you can, or if you want to take a percentage of the, if you want like a percentage of the advance, it'd be like 20%. And then if there's 2 managers, you just get 10%.
It's crazy because I was literally listening to a video, I think it was like a YouTube Shorts. And Offset was talking about he signed and the Migos signed a single deal, and it was a period of time like when they were popping like crazy, like you know, that little period when they're going crazy. And he was saying how like each single was like a 4 million deal, each single 4 mil. Each single 4 mil, like it was a crazy little period where like you know when they were going crazy, it was like 018 period, like 17 period, they were going crazy. And I was just like, rah, like I didn't really know heavy that single deals are like a thing, like a big thing. I always had the impression that you get signed, it might be like a 3 or 4 album deal and so on and so forth. So it's quite interesting with but on the topic of deals quickly, because on, you know, Drake, he, you know, when he dropped Scorpion, he was rapping about how like that was the final like album to get him out of his deal.
Is it?
Yeah, because I think it was like a 6 album deal that he signed with Young Money, innit? So he was rapping about how like as soon as his album dropped, I'm out of the deal. And I was like, wow, like I was actually thinking about, wow, man, like if I've got 3 more albums to do, damn, I got to churn out albums. I got to churn out albums. So it's quite interesting to like think about on the flip side, wow, like if I'm locked into this deal, I got to churn out 2 or 3 albums. You know what I mean? But yeah, onto the timeline though. So after that, so you set up Dreamscape. Dreamscape. So Dreamscape is essentially like a management services.
Management service, like if artist label services. If labels need something, we help them. Or like, we help artists with marketing as well. So at this moment in time, I'm not an A&R. I'm just a marketing person. So I came on the marketing spectrum. So I've done that, and obviously that's managed to get me in certain rooms, like going Sony and stuff. And that I think it was October 2022. Like that was the first time I actually went into a Sony building. I've never been in a label building at all. Wow. Yeah, considering all the other stuff, I've never been in a label building. So we were doing that, going there, stuff places, and I think 2 months after, December 2022, that's when Mixtape Madness came about.
So I'm assuming it's a thing where I've seen your work, seen what you do. Or okay, cool. Cool. I'm right. You could.
So like at this point, I've seen a job ad. There's a page called Young Music Boss. So they've posted, obviously, you know, there's an opportunity to do PR at Mixtape Madness. And obviously, PR was a service that we wasn't offering at Dreamscape, and I thought, you know what, let me just get some experience. Let me see what PR is actually about.
You never know what happens.
You never know what happens, and like I got an email saying we want to interview and stuff. I did the interview. I think 2 weeks later, 2 or 3 weeks later, I got an email back saying we want you to be part of Mixtape Madness, and that was the first time I'd obviously been inside like a well-known brand. So I was like, you know what, let me just take it.
That's serious. No, that's serious because I guess the creative industry or the media industry, like quite often you hear people say like it's word of mouth and I know someone, you got me in or thing, but like to hear that it was just a role and you apply for it, it's good to see that side as well. Like you can just use your credentials to get in the door, do you know what I mean, and build. So how was starting at Mixtape Madness, how was that experience like?
It was good. Like obviously doing PR work is something different. Like PR is like reaching out to websites, magazines to obviously help with the roster to make sure they get like editorial like playlists, pictures and stuff like that.
The irony, because I work in PR still.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I work in PR, so mostly my clientele is very like it's corporate, so like a lot of spokespeople, interviews, broadcast interviews, editorial as well. So like get to newspapers. So that's side of things I'm very like familiar with, I'd say. But
I'd say it can be daunting sometimes though, because it's like, you know, when you're sending out all these emails and not really getting responses, it's like,
and it's earned as well. So you got a journalist has to feel your pitch or be interested in what you're offering. Do you know what I mean?
That's the thing. And it's like when they get so many emails, it can just be like, but then you get like, one thing I do rate that they did is that they got someone that obviously did PR for an artist called J.O.
Oh yeah,
he had a song called 22 that went off, and she was in control of like his PR stuff.
J.O. I know J.O.
Yeah.
I just don't like, I can't.
Yeah, the song goes like, you're 20.
Yeah. That one goes off.
That one goes off. So
yeah.
She just kind of showed us like the tips and tricks she used and stuff like that. And it was really helpful.
Yeah. No, that's sick, man. Yeah. So, and then I'm assuming, so like, you know, when you're doing PR for artists, so at the time of Mixtape Madness, what like who was on the roster at the time?
Roster, we had artists. Well, we still have these artists on the roster, like T.S. Lager.
Yeah.
I think Horrid One, Savo.
Savo. Oh, so you got the drills.
Yeah, we had the drills.
Through the drillers. Yeah. But so what's it like getting PR for drillers though? Like,
you kind of just have to show them that they're just normal people.
Yeah.
But obviously, I believe that the company themselves understood that, you know, just doing like bringing in PR people is a bit hard as well. So sometimes like we just work with external PR companies or like you know, press companies, and they will just help us.
They'll pattern you up.
Pattern us up,
It makes sense though. So what would you say like is the most like hardest part or the most challenging part of being an A&R?
You know, we're still on the PR part.
Cool. I'm trying to get
to that. So I was a PR for Mixtape for about 2 months.
Okay, cool.
And then I switched to A&R.
Okay, how did that happen?
They just shouted me, though, like, you know, we think you'd be good for A&R, because like they saw that I had like a lot of contacts, I believe, at the time. I don't know what their reason was. Yeah. But I just
okay.
A&R, and from then I became an A&R. But to actually answer your question, the hardest part of being an A&R, I'd say, is you know, convincing people to see a vision that they don't. Yeah, because you might believe something will go off, but they
don't see the vision. Yeah, I'm assuming like there's a lot of like pitching in terms of like this is my idea, like this is my vision. Yeah, you got to believe in it. Like get on the train with me. Like we're going somewhere.
100%.
Yeah,
because where the industry is now, I feel like they've kind of scrapped artist development now. It's more or less like, what streams are you getting? What you doing? It's like like it's really results orientated. Yeah, so there's not really the time to help develop artists.
And it's quite interesting because obviously, when we had another one of our friends on who's A&R, like he mentioned that as well. Like
I
how
saw the video. That's why I commented. I saw the video.
Because it's like that's kind of how the game is now. Like, do you think that's what do you think the reason for that is? Do you think it's just like a shift in priorities and focus?
Yeah, 100%. And obviously where TikTok has now come about as well, it's like everyone is more or less on that app. Like everyone's looking for a quick win. Yeah. They're not really spending time to develop an artist over a long period of time. Anymore. It's like,
it's quite interesting because I think like, I guess my theory on it is that as the music industry has grown and grown and grown, and now the bar is higher in terms of the earning potential, I'd say. Yeah,
100%.
As you see more, you almost want to get there quicker and quicker and quicker. Yeah. So now, like the industry, A&Rs and labels, like you see more, you're gonna get it quicker and quicker and quicker. So like the fastest way to get there, and you keep trying to see the quickest way to get there because you see more and more and more bread. It's like a cycle, isn't it? Like
it's crazy.
So I think it's nuts, but I guess it's like is a reality of the industry. So in your opinion, then, and obviously in your experience in the industry, like how would you say if there was like a becoming artist, like how would you advise them to try and cut through in this thing?
I'd say well, what I've always said to artists is that like if you say, if I don't know, for example, like for you, right, if you say you make music like a certain artist, maybe look at like 5 different artists similar to that artist and how they brand themselves.
That's quite true.
And obviously create your own brand.
Yeah.
Or like create your own person using their brands as well.
Yeah.
Promote yourselves the way they promote themselves, using the strategies and techniques they use.
Yeah.
And then kind of just diversify that across like social media platforms.
Yeah. That's quite interesting to share, because like so true that quite often you got to look at what are the good things that other people are doing.
Yeah.
And how can I implement those good things? Do you know what I mean? Yeah. It's probably interesting. So then I'm assuming, so like this year so far, like we're 4 months into 2024.
Yeah.
How are you finding it, like in like personal thing and also your like career as well? How are you finding it overall?
Personal wise, I feel like it's one of those years where it's like obviously you're growing up.
Yeah.
It's really that year to kind of just go for the stuff you want. I feel like kind of enter that selfish era, you know, like just focusing on yourself, having your head down, and yes, it's been going well so far.
Yeah, 100%. You mentioned that you came up in Paris.
Yeah.
How was that? What was that for?
A&R stuff as well.
Is it?
Yeah. So with me, obviously I've got like a Francophone French background.
Yeah.
I'm from Congo and Angola.
Okay, makes sense.
And like French music is really like heavy to me. Like I really like the French music, the French industry scene. Like one of my goals this year was to try to be there more, build my network, and obviously just mingle with more French people. And like around, I think I had this thought from like October 2023. And by then I think I probably just had like maybe 1 or 2 French contacts, but from that period to now, it's built. Like I've probably got over like 100 plus, and I don't even know how I did that. It just sort of happened. And it's crazy because now it's like you're in the room with like all these big artists from France, like some artists to mention, like I don't know if you know someone like Arisco. There's him.
I've heard of him, yeah.
Who else did I see over the week? There was Arisco. There was Jungeli.
Like, I think I know about him. I think I've heard of him.
That artist, he's been number 1 in France on the singles charts for 34 weeks. 35 now.
Right.
There was him. There was Taiki as well. I've met him. Like there's it's crazy.
There's a lot. Now it's sick to hear that, and I feel like as you build and you touch into like other markets, it can really start to scale up, innit? Yeah. Now I think that that's sick, man, and it's sick to see like that the growth, especially like starting in uni as well. Like quite often, how like I'd say people in our community are like uni just messing around, you're messing around, cool. And then maybe by 24, 25, 26, now you started to think about, okay, now I want to do, but it's sick to hear that from young, you kind of had that vision, cool, let me run with it.
But you know what's crazy? Like, when I went to uni, I never wanted to be in music. I didn't even care about music like that. Like, I think it was just up until when I posted that snippet on Twitter. That's when I was just like, let me just
see where it goes, man.
Yeah.
How I've always viewed like dreams or like ambitions, and this is like a thought that I've had for a while now, is like how I viewed it is like in 5 years time or in 10 years time, I don't want to look back and think, oh man,
I wish I did.
You could have gone more.
Yeah,
like you could have gone harder, man. Like you didn't really go for it. Like you didn't really say, forget what everyone's thinking. I don't care if I get embarrassed. I'm going for it. That's something that kind of scares me. Like I don't want to look back in 5 years. That's the thing. Like, and I'm like, oh man, you didn't really go for it, bro.
That's the thing.
You didn't go for that dream, like, because how deep it now is like we're in our like early 20s, mid 20s, like mid-20s. Guys are young. You got energy. You got time. Like go for things that you want to go for. That's how I view it. Like a dream, bro. Like you go for things that you want to go for, because like you don't look back in 5-10 years time. It's like, man, like when I had all that time, like what did I really? Of course, enjoying life always. I enjoy life, like going trips and stuff, but like go for something you want to go for, man. It's important still. It's sick to hear that still. I know obviously you on like you're quite big in your like fitness content as well. I saw
recent, you know. I just started all of that this year.
I saw a quote that you said and the steps that I've taken to reduce my body fat to less than 13%. How did that happen?
Because you know, like when I started uni, like I was obviously playing football for the uni team and stuff like that. And I've always had like a sports background, so I haven't really been like big or anything. So that kind of helped me as well.
Yeah.
So I think it just got to a point where it's like I started. Do you know who it was? It was the Eddie guy from TikTok. That's who it was. That's who it was. Yeah. Thinking about it, that's who it was. Like he kept popping up on my For You page, and I was like, let me actually take in the content. And I was actually listening to what he said, and like, it made a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been seeing a lot about him recently. Man. I've seen bare stuff. Is he serious? I've never really tapped into his stuff.
Yeah, stuff serious. Like, I feel like some of the things he says, he goes over the top. But when you actually look at the finer things of it, like
the fundamentals of it,
it makes sense.
It makes sense. Fair play. Yeah. Fair play. I see that you're into your books.
Yeah.
Yeah. Same.
Big book, man.
What are a few of your favorite books?
I'd say Surrounded by Idiots.
I'm Idiots.
Yeah.
What's that about?
So it's the book is called Surrounded by Idiots, right?
Yeah.
And it's just basically saying that no one's an idiot. Like it's the best way to divide people is to look at them, to divide them by colors. And then the colors is green, red, yellow, and blue.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's quite interesting. Yeah. But like what do those colors mean?
So like a red one is like a more dominant person.
Yeah.
Blue is analytic. Green is like a person that is like they're always available to help. And yellow is like the person that like jokes around the most.
Fair
it's
play.
like the charisma person.
Yeah. No, that's quite interesting still. A book that I'm currently reading, and I'd probably say is my favorite book in terms of the insights that I've got from it, is it's called Business Secrets from the Bible by Rabbi Daniel Lapin. Sick book. Sick book. The insights from the Bible are crazy.
What's it called again?
Business Secrets from the Bible.
From the Bible.
It's sick.
That's a catchy title.
Yeah.
That is catchy.
Business Secrets from the Bible. I would say the most important thing that I've learned from it so far is that in order to have freedom, you have to restrict yourself. So it basically use an example. So let's say you got a calendar, right? And you're looking at your next week.
Yeah.
Your next week is all full. Yeah. It's all full of it's empty, yeah. It's empty. It's a free week. You got 9 on Monday all the way to Sunday, yeah? You'd think that's freedom. You got 9 on.
Yeah.
But really and truly, that's not freedom because you don't have anything that's going to restrict your time to achieve anything. So he teaches in the book that, bro, like, if you want to have freedom, you have to restrict your time. So let's say, for example, I've got a pod. So let's say I go restrict my time. So I'll say, I have to put an hour of my time where I'm not doing anything else but recording. Now I've achieved something.
Yeah.
You don't get freedom without a restriction of time, achieving something, and then moving on.
Yeah.
So it's like, is the idea of not thinking that, I just want to have freedom and not have anything to do, but really and truly, you need to restrict your time in certain areas to achieve things and to really have freedom, right? Because it isn't freedom that's doing anything, laying around all day. So that's something that I've loved from that book. Like, restrict your freedom, achieve. Restrict your freedom, achieve. Is sick still, but yeah, there's bare books that I've enjoyed. I'm quite big on autobiographies. So sick. I've read a few. I've read what's that autobiography, Carlo Ancelotti's. He was Kevin Hart. His one's sick. I'm quite big on those still. So now, man, it's sick to be reading, man. It's great still.
I'm actually ordered that book.
Yeah. I'll show it to you after still.
Sick.
It's sick. Yeah, it's a sick Bible. I say Bible. Book still. You may as well get into a Hot Topics lineup, man.
Sick.
Hot Topics lineup is basically like a segment where we go through like a few of the topics that have been going around recently in the past few weeks and see get our thoughts on it. So this is one that I saw recently, and I came across it at work actually. So it was a study from the FCA, and it said that 1 in 9 people have missed the bill in the last half a year, whilst a staggering 14.6 million people are not coping financially in the UK. So it's heavy, man. How do you feel about like personal finance, the economy, and like how you navigate that? Like, what's your viewpoint on it?
I feel like the UK is just in a spliff right now. Like, I just feel like you can't just limit yourself to just one job or like just do one thing and stuff. Like, I feel like God's given us many skills and many talents, and like you need to obviously tap into that. Even if it's not in the UK, like maybe go abroad, network with people, like try to do something different.
Yeah.
Because like for example, like people that own brands, they don't just want to distribute in the UK. They want to like find
take it further, right?
Different partners.
Take it bigger, yeah.
I feel like where the UK is going right now, I don't know, man. Like
it's tricky.
It's evident that a lot of people are suffering.
Yeah,
just hope that you'll kind of just get through it.
Yeah. Is there anything like, how do you approach like savings and like building and ensuring that like I'm cool for a rainy day, like what's your approach on that?
So the sort of person I am, I'll be honest, like if I have money in my account, sometimes I could just spend, but like the way I approach it, like I'll take out everything I have in my account. I'll probably leave it under my bed or something.
Why is it you like that?
Yeah, because
that's old school, right?
Yeah, because if you think about it,
that's old school.
On the weekend, the banks are closed, so it's like when you want to tap your card to obviously go out and spend stuff, you can't order food online and stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's
how do you mean you can't order food online?
Like, cause for example, delivery, right?
Yeah.
If the banks are closed on the weekends, you can't. And you have no money in your account.
You're forced to be broke to get I'm thinking, okay, I get you. I was just saying that you can't put money into account. Okay, cool. Yeah, I hear
like,
you.
You're kind of forced to be broke for that weekend and stuff like
that.
Wow,
you do that?
Yeah, like...
that's crazy, bro.
I can't lie, like... That it's worked.
Yeah,
it's worked.
It restricts you.
Yeah, it restricts
of course you still spend, but not as much. Yeah, not
as much.
I hear you.
You're not forced to obviously go out and do.
To be tapping, in the contact, you just be tapping anyhow. Yeah.
So like that's kind
of
that's
crazy.
Well,
I said he puts bread under his bed.
It's helped.
That's sick.
It's helped, but like that's probably like one of the main techniques I use. Like if I actually need it, I'll put it in. I'll take it out. It's long.
Yeah. Fair play. Yeah. It is. I'll be real, on TikTok, I've been seeing this thing, and the white ladies do it a lot. It's like a book. You might have seen it. It's like a book, and it's like you put a certain amount of cash into the book for each day.
Is it?
Or I think it's like each week, and then over the course of like a half a year period or like a year period, you saved up X amount. It's like a thing, and it's like, but how I see it is like,
is it the one of the plastic ones?
Yeah.
I've seen that.
And like you put like a £5 in there, £10 in there, and it builds over time. It's like, but personally, like I've never been into having cash. I can't be asked to have cash, man. It's jarring, but it does. I think there's value in like having it and seeing it, because honestly, like when all of your money is just in the account, like. Sometimes it feels distant, like it feels like it's just there. That's why you feel like you can just spend, because it doesn't feel like real money. You're just spending it. Where when you got cash in your hand, you're a lot more cautious with it. I'd say. Do you know what I mean?
You don't want to let it go down.
Exactly. So that's very interesting still. Now that's funny, man. I'm hearing about the bed thing. That's funny still. Another one though that I've seen recently. Did you see the thing about Young T and Bugsey?
No, what happened with them?
It's quite interesting. Let me actually get it up. It was so basically there was a report going on. I think he did an interview. I think Young T, he did an interview, and he was talking about how he didn't make any bread from Don't Rush.
That's kind of interesting.
And then I think there were a few people who were like doing the maths on Twitter, innit? And saying like, like you should have got X amount based on the X per Spotify, the X per streams. I know it's all like, I mean, and it's like he was saying that in the interview that like he didn't get anything from that tune. I was like, like how is that deal structured?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I wonder what they signed for then.
Yeah.
No advance. Or...
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So, but it's interesting though, like. In your, I guess, point of view and in your experience, what are the like pitfalls that artists can fall into if they aren't careful with their deal structuring?
I feel like you have to have a lawyer with these sort of things, because when you're offered like an X amount of money, like sometimes if you've never been offered that money, like it can just excite you straight away and you can just sign or whatever, because you might think the opportunity might just go.
Yeah.
But I think it just depends on the sort of deal you sign, because and the royalty percentage and stuff as well,
Yeah. So royalty percentage. So I'm assuming that's the percentage of my catalog that I essentially own, right?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. It's quite interesting because J.Cole, he's my favorite rapper, by the way.
Same.
Oh, is it?
From Forest Hill Drive.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, but then even at Friday Night Lights.
Oh,
I'm back then.
Oh, you're old school.
I'm old school.
Oh, okay, cool.
I'm old school.
I mean, you might have to dive into the.
I'm old school.
How are you feeling about the recent?
I haven't actually listened to it. That's the thing.
Okay.
I'm not really trying to base his fame or like how he's viewed just because of apologizing to Kendrick.
Yeah.
I don't really care what people say.
You don't care about it. I'll be real, yeah. I've been conflicted about it for a little while, yeah. But I'll be real, like the project is just too good for me to leave him behind. And it's been so many years that I've been listening to this artist. And he's got me through so many times with his music and content and delivery and his skill. I can't let this one, I guess, L or mishap throw that in the bin. Nah. I just can't. So I'm riding with it, man. Dreamville forever, man. We're here. Dreamville forever, baby. Because it's like, I can't, all that he's done, his whole catalogue. Even like you said, and the mixtapes. Friday Night Lights, the come up.
You can't throw that.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I can't throw that away. So how I'm viewing it right now, I don't like that he apologized personally because it's like, bro, like, firstly, this weren't that deep.
Nah.
And secondly, Kendrick came for you. Thirdly, if you're at the elite level and you want to compete, you can't be doing that because now you can't. And I've been seeing a lot of people say, I can't even his lyrics, I can't really even take them in as much as or the same because like you back down to the battle, and I've kind of felt that slightly in my heart, but then I put it to the side and say this guy's an elite rapper.
He's elite,
He's an elite rapper, so I just firm it. But onto what we're chatting about though, the deal, like it just seemed crazy. It's not loading now, but it just seemed crazy like that. On that tune, that was massive.
That was a massive.
That tune went that world. That tune.
Do you know what's actually crazy?
Yeah.
I actually came across their Spotify profile. I don't know if it was this week or last week, and I was actually looking at the streams as well.
Is it? Yeah.
I didn't know about this, but I was looking at the streams. They did the French remix.
Yeah.
There were so many different remixes to that song.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they all went off.
Yeah. So I've got the tweet up now. So Mimi the music blogger tweeted that Young T and Bugsey made no money, huh? It's the Spotify alone. The original and remix got 323 million streams. And so apparently on Spotify, for every 100 streams, you get 34p. So if you do the maths, that's 1.1 mil. So that's why it was like, damn, like, how did you not get anything from that? But again, the advance might have been.
They might have got a hefty advance.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, so like it's mad interesting, but yeah, like on your point though, yeah, like having a lawyer is important. But if you're an upcoming artist, you might not have bread for a lawyer though.
But
how do you navigate that if you don't have bread for a lawyer, bro?
But do you know what's crazy? Like, if you're signing to a record label, most of them like they will cover the lawyer fees.
Okay. Yeah, but isn't that a bit weird? Because on their side though, if they cover it, surely like you think they can chat to the lawyer and say, "Bro," you know what I mean? It feels a bit.
That was a very techie situation.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah. But no, man, it's very interesting. It's very interesting. Have you heard about the situation with Stormzy and Bugsey?
Again?
I don't think it's even a big deal if I'm honest, but I've heard that like
I heard it.
That like Bugsey sent shots to Stormzy, about something about Maya. I don't know, man. It just feels a bit redundant, bro.
Yeah, like it's not like what it was back in the days when everyone was hyped.
Yeah,
everyone's kind of just forgot about it. Yeah,
you know what's so interesting? I think the culture has kind of moved from like away from it, like the UK culture.
Yeah, we don't really.
Yeah, like
it's not like
it doesn't feel like there's any hype around there. Yeah. I think the only thing that we have time for in terms of clashes, like Chip. Whenever Chip's about,
that's a big one. Yeah,
the culture things. But if I'm honest, to be fair, how do you feel about the UK scene right now, bro? How do you feel with this scene right now, bro?
I feel like the scene. I don't really like the UK scene, but I feel like it's also a case where a lot of good artists are just not being heard enough.
Yeah,
a lot of the big artists as well. The big artists are probably the ones that are just keeping it up right now. But there's a lot of good music that's just not being heard.
Yeah, so true. I think in the UK, we have so much talent. It's unreal.
So much, yeah.
Like honestly, like there's so many artists who are so good. But I think with how I approach the UK scene, it's like I'll take the artists that I like and just hold on to them.
Yeah.
And all you man that are doing your thing, I'm all good. Do you know what I mean? Because like someone like an artist like Nux, for example, sick artist. He's someone that like you see him, you find him, you listen to him, and you hold him. Do you know what I mean? And everyone knows you man do your thing.
Yeah, you do your thing. I'll keep him.
Someone like I'd say Any. You know about Any?
Yeah,
sick rapper.
A tune of Odo on that tune.
Yeah, a sick rapper. Yeah, she's someone. Again, you see her, you grab her, you hold her, and you don't let no one, because like there aren't that many gems in the UK.
Yeah, there's not.
So like another artist that I love, Loyal Kana. I like him. He's a UK rapper. He's someone that's like, he's sick. You grab him, you hold him, but like as a whole, I'm not sure about the scene right now. But you just got to take your gems and hold on to them. You got to take your gems. Yeah. But who are the three artists that you rock with though?
In the UK?
Yeah. Both.
To say in the UK, I actually like a lot of Clavish.
Clavish. Okay, he's serious. Yeah. He does the thing.
Other than Clavish, like Heady.
Yeah. He dropped his trailer, right?
That's crazy.
How are you feeling about it? Because apparently it's gonna be I guess like the one part 2, or like the one, you know, on what's that tape called? You know, his classic tape that dropped in like 2017 or something.
It was Driller Sex Trappers, or was that?
No, that's a classic, but he dropped that with
RV.
With RV, but then the album is the one, right?
The one,
I think
that's the one. Yeah,
and the one intro, I think he's doing like a part 2 of it. That's what the whole project is based around. Yeah. So it's looking sick. And the trailer looked good. So, and we'll see what it comes out with, man. Yeah.
Sick.
Yeah. He's doing his thing. I think also he's got, he had the label as well for a bit, innit?
Yeah, he was at Relentless.
Yeah.
I don't know what his situation was.
Yeah,
after,
it's a bit awkward, isn't it?
Yeah, but he was at Relentless for a bit as well.
Yeah. But then he had One Records, innit?
Yeah.
And then I think Desi was on that. A few other guys might have been on that.
I believe so, yeah.
But I have to think with labels, like, how I see it is like, you can have a period where there's guys on it, but then if it gets a bit dry, like as a label, like how do you've got an artist who they're like, their fandom is like, I guess it's plateauing and it's not really like building, or it's getting worse, or don't get the traction anymore. Like how does a label deal with that?
To be fair, with most labels I've seen, they'll just kind of like come up with marketing ideas and stuff, but at the end of the day I feel like it's down to the artist as well. Like a label can only just do so much. They can throw their ideas and stuff, but if the artist isn't willing to obviously match that sort of level, then there's not much they can do. But if I was obviously looking from the outside in, I'd tell them to like go build a fan base elsewhere, you know, go collab with other people and branch out and stuff.
100%.
You know, like for example, with what like Central C's done, that one is crazy.
Props to him, man. Props, yeah. Like his, you know, like with his rise, like how do you think it was so like, how do you think he was able to cut through how he did? Do you think it was just so unique in terms of a style? Like how do you think he was able to, from your point of view, like his impact in that period of time as well?
I don't think anyone would have expected him to go to the level he's got, because I check his monthly listeners in comparison to like a lot of other UK artists. I think when I checked this week, it was on 23 million monthly listeners.
Yeah.
For like some of the big acts we've got here, the highest it kind of goes up to is like within his like genre, right?
Yeah.
In the UK, some of them go up to like maybe, I think Tion's might have been like 6 to 8 mil. Yeah. Even that is good as well.
Very good.
But for Sench to be on 23 mil, and obviously someone like Lil Durk, I think, is on 24, 26 monthly listeners. It's like,
it goes to show. Yeah. So Sench is on 24.6 mil. Yeah. But you know what's crazy for him? I think how he did it.
It's crazy.
Because I think, you know, with him, he didn't only, because like he's naturally he's mixed race, right? Well, not that, but like he's got the mix, because he's white looking, but he's got the brand and image of someone in the culture. Crazy. The brand and image is someone in the culture. He's infused in culture, the trap culture as well. So that kind of played in his part. Like as his brand started to grow, because it's like, cool, he's gonna get the white audience as well, but he's also gonna get the black audience because how he brands himself, the culture, and the things that he raps about, all his boys are black. So like you kind of got the best of both worlds. And I kind of you notice that like with a lot of artists, you kind of straddle those two worlds, and they usually bank big because you can get a lot of the white audience, and you even get that Asian audience as well because of where you come from, and then it's like a recipe for like going clear. So I think it's sick how he's done his thing though, man. You got to respect it. It's serious. And it's like
the branding. Like I think there was even a point when he released the album called Wild West.
Yeah.
Like even I remember everything that I used to see at the time. Orange, you just associate with Central C. I was thinking
you got to rate that marketing and branding, man. That's top level. Even the like in the music videos, the billboards, the cars,
everything.
It was infectious. Like you knew, okay, Kara, this is his thing.
That's his thing.
You gotta rate it, man. You gotta respect you gotta respect it, man. Nah, it's serious seeing people cut through the scene like that still, man. But yeah, man. Bro, I appreciate you for jumping on, man. Bro, it was a sick conversation, man. How is there anything that like you want your audience to know, like any work that's coming soon, or anything that to leave, or is it all still?
I actually want to ask you a question. You know,
yeah, bro.
What's your favorite J.Cole song?
Ooh. So my favorite J.Cole song, there's so many in it, but a song that I hold quite dear to my heart is he did a song with Cos in it. He's on Dreamville, yeah. It's years ago now. It's called Don't Knock the Hustle Remix. And his verse on that, honestly, is like unreal. Like his storytelling on it, his cadence, his bars, his flow, everything is like elite. I think it's one of the like his best verses ever. Yeah, it's one of the verses that like when I get my own home, I'll have it put on the wall. Yeah, like it's that level. I'm gonna get that verse put on the wall because like it's that serious. But yeah, so Don't Let the Hustle remix featuring J.Cole is like his favorite, like in terms of a verse of his that I just love, and then in terms of like a song that I love, I'd probably say Love Yours. Love Yours. Forest Hill Drive. Yeah. Beautiful song. How about you?
Song. I'd say for me, obviously when I started listening to J. Cole's Forest Hill Drive, all the songs there.
Classics in there.
Classic songs. But if I want to say my favourite song, I'd have to say Dead Presidents.
The President. Oh, you know what old school?
Yeah,
you know the old school?
Old school. I'm old school, yeah.
You know the irony of that, yeah? The irony of that is that, you know when I was driving here, I was thinking about like Cole's career and how I started listening to him, yeah. And honestly, when I was in sixth form, I used to work in shoe in Lakeside. So sometimes I would I'd go from sixth form, I'd go and work, and then go home in it. And then there's some days where the shop floor is like quiet. Yeah. Nothing going on, it's quiet, yeah. Honestly, in my mind, I'm reciting that whole freestyle. And you know what it is, yeah? Back then, someone on YouTube put part 1, 2, and 3 all together. So I downloaded that whole track and the part 1, the part 2, and 3. I would drop that freestyle and I'd be like rapping it in my mind because it was just that good. Like he was that good. So I say that to say that's why it's Dreamville Forever. Yeah, Dreamville Forever. Dreamville. But that's a classic freestyle.
It's a classic one.
That's a classic freestyle.
Classic. Yeah. If we was to say album, I'd say either Forest Hill Drive, KOD, or
I like KOD.
What's the other one? The one where Cole's sitting in a chair, and then on the song, I think there's Crooked Smell. That's
Born Sinner.
Yeah, Born Sinner.
That's a bad album as well. Yeah. So that's a sick album as well. Yeah, man. He's got a great catalog, man. Like I can't. It's Dreamville Forever because I don't rate his decision, but I can't turn my back on the catalog of work. No,
100%.
I can't. I just can't.
Done a lot,
I can't. And even you know, you get around to listen to the his latest project is serious as well. Serious stuff, man. Serious stuff, man. But yeah, serious. But I appreciate you for jumping on, bro.
Bro. Anytime,
jump on, man.
Thanks for having me, honestly.
Of course, bro. And guys, of course, if you like the episode, ensure that you like, you comment, you subscribe. We've got more conversations coming. We've got more insightful conversations with people who just do interesting things, man. Do things that are worth speaking about. Have a journey that's worth exploring, right? So ensure that you stay tapped in. But make sure that you guys subscribe though, because not enough of you guys subscribe. But you guys watch, but you guys don't subscribe, bro. You guys don't subscribe. So make sure you're subscribed. We've got more conversations coming. And Dreamville, man, chase your dreams, man. You don't want to look back. You don't want to look back in 5 years, 10 years, 15 years time, and you think to yourself, I could have gone harder. That's how we're gonna end it, man. Have a blessed week, people, man. Peace.